Exclusive contract novel from Feilu Novel Network. Floods and Wilderness. The divine choice of the human race, starting with the abolition of N. Lin Tian traverses the flood and becomes a member of the human race during the period of the witch demon's calamity. At this moment, he activated the God-level multiple-choice question system. However, before he could become stronger, Wan Yao slaughtered the human race. Faced with this opening, Lin Tian expressed great panic. And just after the human race was massacred by millions, all the human races knelt down to worship the statue of N. and begged the Holy Mother to take action. Faced with all of this, Lin Tian directly pulled the human race into space and asked all the human races to do multiple-choice questions. Option 1. Believe that the Virgin Mary will come to rescue you, continue to wait, the sage is merciless, waiting for the downfall of the human race. Option 2. The human race should strive for self-reliance and strength, and abolish the Wa Emperor. In the constant slaughter, the saints showed no mercy, and the human race gradually awakened. The goddess of N. has no virtue. You are not worthy to assume the position of the Holy Mother of the human race. Today, our human race should depose the Holy Mother. Self-reliant and strong. Kill the demon court. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Crossing the Wilderness of the Human Race, Activating Divine Selection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Crossing the Wilderness of the Human Race, Activating the Divine Multiple-Choice Question System. A flood and famine. Countless immortal mountains stand tall, and the ferocious and cruel demon race ravages. The witch race is also born with divine power, easily moving mountains and seas. On the earth, all spirits bow down and worship. Lin Tian woke up from confusion and looked around. Just as he was surprised, a piercing pain spread from the deepest part of his mind. Buzz. Two different memories merged, and Lin Tian held his temple and rubbed it hard twice before finally understanding his current situation. He has traveled. And what's more, what I've traveled through is actually the eve of the great calamity of the witchcraft in the wilderness, and I've become an untraceable human race after birth. At this moment, the demon heaven and the witch land, each take charge of their own side. Whether it is the magical powers, immense power and body of the demon race, or the innate divine power of the witch race, inheriting the bloodline of Pangu, they are all the most powerful beings in the wilderness. Of course, there are also some innate great supernatural beings, although their ethnic group is not as good as the two races of witches and demons, but they have the inheritance of 3,000 ancient gods and demons, and their strength is also extremely powerful. It is absolutely not an exaggeration to describe the vast expanse of land at this time as being filled with golden immortals and abundant with great treasures. This kind of wasteland, what kind of living space is there for the human race? Lin Tian regained his mind for a moment and then checked his cultivation. Okay, in the middle of the Yuanying period, if in a past life, not to mention Yuanying, even if it was building a foundation or a golden pill, it would have been unimaginable abilities for ordinary people. But where is this? This is a wasteland. A small demon can easily jump out of here, probably possessing the strength of earth immortals and heavenly immortals. Just a little baby, isn't it just a matter of their one paw? Lin Tian's mouth twitched, and his eyes showed a strong sense of unwillingness and fear. Surprisingly, I have come to such a brilliant world like the flood and wasteland. If I cannot make a great achievement, wouldn't it be a pity? However, with the current body of this acquired human race, coupled with the cultivation of Yuanying, who may not even be able to defeat a small demon, what great things can he do? Lin Innocent is unwilling. God gave him another chance to live, but he may lose this opportunity at any time due to his strength. This gap is unbearable for anyone. System. Is there a system? Isn't this something that travelers must have? Lin Tian tried to shout in his heart. The next second, a mechanical system sound comes from the depths of my mind. Detected strong thoughts from the host, the topic selection system has been activated. Damn it, there really is. Lin Tian was pleasantly surprised in his heart. The system is a must-have golden finger for travelers, whether it's carrying an old grandpa, invincible luck, or invincible talent, the system can bring it. My own system. Lin Tian was taken aback, suddenly feeling a sense of confusion. What is your own system for doing exercises? What kind of system is this? System, what is your role? Host, this system is derived from the Chaos Avenue, which is related to the fate of the times. However, the avenue is ruthless, so it cannot directly enhance anyone's strength. Only through people's choices can it provide side hints. The system explained in detail for a while, and finally Lin Tian understood. Simply put, the function of this system is to let others do the exercises. The object of the question is chosen by Lin Tian. As long as the selected person answers a certain proportion of the questions correctly, they will receive a system reward, and as the invigilator, Lin Tian can receive double the reward. Doing exercises makes you stronger. It's just that simple. The most important thing is that this system is derived from the Chaos Avenue, so it has accurate judgment for any event in the wilderness. After a little understanding of the question bank, Lin Tian was excited to find that it contained everything, whether it was the Lich Demon Cataclysm or the subsequent God Sealing Cataclysm, and even the fate of various ethnic groups, among others. Of course, as the invigilator, Lin Tian, now that he has obtained the system, he can no longer give too obvious prompts to the candidates. But that's not important. As long as he can become stronger and survive in this dangerous flood, Lin Tian doesn't care about anything else. Isn't it okay to shrink back and make a hidden old silver coin? You should know that those who emerge in the wilderness often have no good ending. That Taoist teachings lead to the heavens, all immortals come to court, and the fame is unparalleled for a moment. It vaguely has the reputation of being the first saint in the wilderness under the Taoist ancestors. In the end, was it not forced to swallow the meteorous holy pill? Jiejia was even more shattered by the beating, and only one unsuspecting Virgin Mary escaped from birth. The invincible sage is still like this. Lin Tian, a small postnatal human race, naturally doesn't want to be exposed to the public. If we offend the observant Emperor Hua or the primordial beings who value face more than life, then we should not call the earth lifeless every day. Of course, even if Lin Tian wants to offend others now, he cannot. If Lin Jinjin doesn't want to live anymore, there's no need for Nyua, Sanqing, and others to take action. Just a little demon can flatten and round him up. After studying the functions of the system, Lin Tian refocused his attention on his current identity. I couldn't help but sigh heavily. The human race is made by Emperor was needing of soil. Although they are naturally wise, their talent for cultivation is simply dazzling. Whether it's lifespan, foot tracking, or luck, the human race at this time is basically at the bottom of the flood and famine. Lin Tian, who had read through the wilderness in his previous life, naturally understood the fate of the human race. Although the human race was later designated as the protagonist of heaven and earth by the heavenly way, it was not yet time. The weak human race was only the food for the two races of the Lich demons during the period when the Lich demons dominated the world. No different from ants. The vast wilderness, with billions of people, yet without even a golden pill at this time, the ancestors of Suiren, Yuchao, and Zi were not yet civilized. The human race was simply living in the open, eating wild fruits, plants, and trees, and there was no difference between them and wild beasts. Just using the word miserable could not describe it. There are often two tribes of witches and demons. Seeing that this small insect-like tribe seems to have intelligence, they come to flirt with it, burning and killing countless people. If they swallow it with a huge mouth, it is likely that a tribe will be lifeless. Lin Tian was contemplating the situation of the human race, and even more scattered memories appeared in his mind. The terror of the demon race and the grandeur of the witch race make Lin Tian feel suffocated. No, we must make the human race stand up. If the human race doesn't stand up, Lin Tian himself won't be able to stand alone for a while, and there is a sense of unwillingness in his heart. Our human race, why can only serve as the food for the lich and demon tribes? Why is there such a difference in cultivation talent? Why is this vast and desolate world giving birth to my human race yet disregarding it? Thinking of this, Lin Tian's eyes showed a hint of coldness. The indifference of Empress Hua during the Lich Demon Cataclysm, and the tragic situation of Tai Ching Laozi ignoring the human religion and allowing the human race to be slaughtered by the demon race, all appeared in Lin Tian's heart. Sage. Oh, just a cold and heartless puppet of the heavenly way without blood, flesh, or heart. Lin Tianling snorted and stood up. Suddenly, there were waves of panic and shouting outside, and Lin Tian was alert in his heart. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Demon Clan Slaughter, Unprecedented Scenery. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Demon Clan Slaughter, Unprecedented Scenery. The demon race is here. Run. Run. The terrifying demon is coming to eat people. Lin Tian bypassed the stone pillars that sheltered him from the wind and rain, and was instantly shocked by the situation in front of him. Countless human races are running on the earth, with haggard faces and panicked eyes. Many of them are covered in bloodstains. In the distance, tens of thousands of demon clans opened their ferocious mouths, poking out their deadly claws. Their bodies towered over the sky and sun, and they laughed wildly. Then, they waved their soul-summoning flags and heavy mountain swords, and the sea of blood surged in an instant. Ha ha ha. Is this the blood of the human race? It's incredibly sweet. How could there be such a weak ethnic group in the wilderness? Today, I will launch a killing spree. What are you running for? To die at our doorstep is luck that we cannot even seek. So weak, what's the use of living in the wilderness? Jia jia jia. Kill, kill, kill. Giant and ferocious demon beasts like mountains, terrifying demon birds with wingspans covering the sky. In front of these demon clans with even the lowest cultivation and heavenly immortals, the human race is even inferior to ants. In front of Lin Tian, countless human races became food in the mouths of demon tribes in an instant. Broken limbs and arms, blood flowing horizontally. The mournful cries connect into a vast expanse, and on the earth, it feels like a human purgatory. Lin Tian's eyes were about to crack, but he had no choice. With his Yuan Ying's cultivation, even if he faced the enemy and rose up, what could he do? It's just adding an unknown corpse. Even under the terrifying slaughter and devouring of these demon tribes, the bodies cannot be left behind. Lin Tian's eyes were congested, but he could only run quickly towards the distance with the flow of people. The crisis of the flood and famine made him fully experience it as soon as he crossed over. Run quickly. Woo-woo, Mom. Dad, where are you? The girl is scared. Run. Run to the holy mountain. Honghuang will definitely save us. That's right, we were created by Emperor Wa's hard work. Emperor Wa will definitely not sit idly by, run to the holy mountain. During Lin Tian's journey, he heard the mournful voices of the human race's discussions and couldn't help but sneer in his heart. Honghuang. Nu Wa created humans just to comply with the will of heaven and become holy for herself. For the human race, although there is grace in creating a race, I'm afraid in the heart of Emperor Hua, the act of creating a race is mostly utilitarian. The merit of creating humans made Nu Hua the first saint to become a saint under the Taoist ancestors. After becoming a saint, when did Nu Hua bestow even a little favor on the human race like her children? Moreover, Nu Hua was originally a demon tribe, with her brother Fu Xilin and Nu Hua snake bodies. Although Fu Xi was later known as the pioneer of humanities and one of the three emperors, at this time, both Xi and Hua were giants standing on the side of the demon tribe. It is difficult to say whether there was any indulgence from Nu Hua in the slaughter of the human race by the demon race. At the beginning of the establishment of the human race, Nu Hua was revered as the Holy Mother, worshipped day by day, and the power of incense continued. Every time there is a sacrifice for life and death, I pile up all the meat that I cannot bear to eat in front of the statue of Nu Hua, hoping that Nu Hua's mother will have a smooth day and moon, and will be safe and sound forever. In Lin Tian's heart, Nu Hua really did not fulfill her responsibility as the ancestor of human creation. Who said that to create a person, one must take advantage of all kindness? What is the difference between creating but not nurturing, and not creating humans in such a vicious and terrifying world like the flood and famine? Relying solely on the human race's weak body and lack of cultivation talent, it is nothing more than the food for many witch demon powers in the wilderness. Why does Nu Hua inherit the kindness of the human race when she creates humans like this? To be honest, the creation of the human race is also a great way. Nu Hua is just following the Tao and creating the human race as the future protagonist of heaven and earth. The Tao has already given Nu Hua enough reward, making her the first saint to become a saint under the Tao ancestor. The human race prays day and night, and the power of incense and fire is countless. Such kindness has long been paid off. The more Lin Tian thought about it, the more angry he became. He wished he could take the human race and sever ties with Nu Hua now. Born but not raised, not worthy of being the Virgin Mary of the human race. My thoughts were spinning in my mind, and countless demon tribes behind me seemed to be playing tricks on the human race, only carrying the last one to slaughter. Still laughing wildly in my mouth. Ha ha ha. Hurry up and run, if you run slowly, you'll be eaten by us. Too weak, this human race is really too weak. Playing with these little bugs is also a pleasure. Ha ha ha. Cry and plead. I love to hear you cry in despair. Ha ha ha. Lin Tian was furious, but had to continue running with frustration. The human tribe is not just millions, but now they are all being driven by these demon tribes like lambs and livestock, rushing towards the holy mountain with all their heads down. Lin Tian was startled in his heart. He looked around at the desperate and confused human race, and suddenly remembered a human disaster before the Lich War. Before the final battle of the witchcraft, there will naturally be countless frictions. The witch clan creates the demon-slaying sword, which specializes in breaking the divine powers of the demon clan. It also gathers the top 10 ancestral witches and uses their strong bodies to defeat the demon clan step by step. Later, Zhu Xianming was angry with the tyranny of the heavenly court and wanted to break through the 5 islands of the heavenly court to seek revenge, but he was stopped by the Longbo human race. After all, that was where they lived. Xianming was furious and attacked Longbo, but his body was injured by the soul of the Longbo human race. This matter was known to the demon emperor Jun, and after much contemplation, he decided to use the human soul to refine the witch-slaying sword and break through the body of the witch clan. Calculating the time, it may be the time when the Emperor Jun sent countless demon tribes to gather under the holy mountain of the human race, preparing to open the killing ring, borrow the blood, flesh, and soul of the human race, and refine the witch-slaying holy sword. This also explains why those demon tribes only drove away, but did not kill all the human races. Lin Tian felt a chill in his heart. That Emperor Jun is a quasi-saint, and the infinite demon clan under his command is generally above the heavenly immortals. It can be said that he can send out a few large demons casually, and the human clan has no chance of being spared. Later on, although the human race was not exterminated and saved by Nu Hua and Zhen Yuanzi, there was no one left, and the sea of endless blood surged. The human race had no choice but to move to the immortal realm where Zhen Yuanzi was located. Who dares to say that they must have survived in that 1 in 100 slaughter? Even Lin Tian cannot be certain. No way, we must find a way to save ourselves. Nu Hua can't rely on anything. If the human race is not on the brink of extinction, she won't take action. By the way, the system. Lin Tian's eyes lit up and he quickly asked the system. System, can I have all the human race do the exercises together? The system sound immediately responds. Humans are naturally open-minded and can solve problems together, but there may be some changes in the rules. Lin Tian immediately understood the rules. Originally, if all the human race were to do the questions together, the accuracy of each question would have to be calculated based on the accuracy rate of all human races. With an accuracy rate of over 50%, all human beings and Lin Tian can receive rewards. This problem-solving method truly controls the fate of the human race. Okay, then let the entire human race do the exercises together. Lin Tian cuts off the railway with his nails. Just as he had agreed with the system, a majestic mountain appeared in front of him. The holy land of the human race, Shouyang Mountain has arrived. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Lin Tian's question. All human races make choices. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Lin Tian's question. All races do multiple choice questions. The birthplace of the human race, the holy mountain Shouyang Mountain. In the beginning, Nu Hua made people by kneading soil here. Later, in order to commemorate and worship the holy mother of Nu Hua, the human race cast a statue of Nu Hua on Shouyang Mountain. The sun and moon prayed and worshipped continuously, contributing infinite power of incense and virtue to Nu Hua. Countless human races, driven away by demon tribes like livestock, rushed to the foot of Shouyang Mountain. The chiefs and elders of the human tribe quickly climbed up Shouyang Mountain, knelt in front of the statue of Nu Hua like jade pillars, and cried loudly. Goddess of Hua, please save the human race. That demon tribe slaughtered our human race recklessly, and the human race is in great trouble. I'm afraid we will exterminate our race today. Our Lady of Mercy, please save the human race. The human race will pray day and night for Our Lady of Mercy. May the Virgin Mary show great mercy and save the human race. Countless human races knelt at the foot of Shouyang Mountain, bowing to the statue of Nu Hua on the mountaintop without stopping. Many people had blood stains on their foreheads and their hands and feet were cut by sharp stones, but they turned a blind eye and continued to kowtow as if they had no pain. Our Lady, please bring grace and save the human race. The elders of the human tribe even placed the sacrificial food that they dared not let go even when their families were destroyed in front of the statue of Nu Hua, hoping that the Holy Mother would issue an edict to prevent the demon tribe from killing anymore. Lin Tian watched this scene, his lips pursed tightly, and his eyes were bloodshot. The human race has only lived for a few decades. Compared to the countless tribes in the wilderness, this time is just a nap and a moment of closure. However, for the human race, it has already been a lifetime of joy, anger, sorrow, and happiness, including birth, aging, illness, and death. However, the demon race is unwilling to give even so little time to the human race. Why is the heavenly way unfair? Since the human race was created, why did it suffer such a great calamity? And when did Nu Hua, who sat on the top of the holy mountain and was actually far away from the Wa palace, cast even a glimmer of attention on the weak ethnic group she created. In her eyes, the human race is just a tool for her sanctification. After becoming a saint, what does life and death have to do with her? As long as the human race is not exterminated, the impact on her will be minimal. After the demon tribe refined the witch-slaying sword, Nuwa hypocritically stood up again, showing a compassionate attitude, and naturally reaped a wave of human faith and incense. Nuwa's idea is incredibly loud. As the human race shouted, thousands of miles away, the demon race was also watching. After all, Nuwa is the holy mother of the human race, and it's okay for them to kill outside, but at the foot of this Yangshan mountain, they still dare not act recklessly. If Nuwa were to descend upon the wrath of the sage, even the demon race would not be able to bear it. But since countless demon tribes such as Emperor Jun Tai have driven the human race here, how can they lack some confidence? The big demon, still chewing on dozens of human corpses in its mouth, had a fierce look in its eyes. Its huge claws were pressed against the head of a human race, and with a probe of its tip, it directly pierced through the human race's head. The anger, fear, and despair in the eyes of the human race could not make these powerful demon races move even a little. Ha ha ha. The human race is too weak. Today we have not yet slaughtered happily. When will your majesty allow us to continue killing? Don't worry, the sage's intentions cannot be inferred. Let's just wait and see. Emperor Shi is the brother of the sage Nuwa. Why don't you go and pay a visit? It's better than us holding back and slaughtering, it's really unpleasant. Countless demon tribes gathered thousands of miles away from Shouyang Mountain, discussing without restraint. Every demon tribe is shrouded in a terrifying aura, and any one of these great demons that comes out is a disaster that the human race cannot resist. The human race became even more desperate, bowing frantically toward Shouyang Mountain, with blood stains on their foreheads from all ages and genders. The ground is covered in blood red. Many demon clans smelled the delicious smell of blood, and their eyes showed a cruel coldness. They licked their lips, waiting for the life of the demon emperor. As long as the command of the demon emperor falls, it is the time to truly slaughter and refine the witch-slaying sword. At the top of Shouyang Mountain, the chiefs and elders of the human tribe were filled with despair, tears and blood flowing in their eyes. They prostrated themselves at the feet of the statue of Nuwa, their cries deafening. Goddess of Wa, please save the human race. The human race has no way left, Empress Nuwa, please save your children. Our Lady is above, please open your eyes and take a look at your children. The human race is about to die. Our Lady, please save us. Everyone is loudly pleading, and in this world, the only one standing is Lin Tian. He doesn't want to kneel, let alone disdain to kneel. In his heart, this Nuwa is not worthy of being the holy mother of the human race, let alone the position of a saint. Born but not raised, and allowed to be slaughtered by the same tribe, what is there to kneel and worship like this Virgin Mary? What if she is the mother of creation? Is it true that the human race was born to provide food for these demon tribes and refine the witch-slaying sword? The human race should stand on its own. Lin Tian's anger was almost exploding in his heart, and the countless demon tribes on the periphery saw no movement on Shouyang Mountain. Allowing the human race to kowtow, kneel, and plead loudly, even the sage Nuwa was too lazy to take a glance. The infinite demon clan burst into laughter at this moment, incredibly crazy. Ha ha ha. The human race should be destroyed. The Great Flood and wilderness are not something that weaker ethnic groups can survive. Not bad. Today is the time for us to slaughter the human race, refine the sword of the witch slayer, defeat that barbaric witch race, and become the protagonist of heaven and earth. The demon emperor has a destiny to slaughter all the human race and refine the witch-slaying holy sword. Ow! Jia Jia! With a command, the infinite demon clan opened its terrifying mouth, and when its claws fell, blood splattered, and countless human races died on the spot. Ai Hong is everywhere, blood flows like a river. Lin Tian stood on Shouyang Mountain, his eyes splitting. The demon tribe was indeed going to refine the witch-slaying sword. System, can we now have all human races do the exercises together? Report to the host that the system is ready and starting the question system. Buzz. At this moment, it seems as if the heavenly voice of the infinite avenue is ringing in the hearts of all human and demon races. The heavenly Tao Qianghua and the order God chain emerge from the void, and the entire Shouyang Mountain has become the focus of attention in the eyes of all living beings. Boom! The majestic sound of the great road spread, leaving countless demon tribes stunned and realizing that their bodies had involuntarily fallen to the ground, bowing to Shouyang Mountain. What is the situation? Could it be that the sage of Emperor Hua has shown his power? Oh my goodness! Didn't your majesty the demon emperor say that Emperor Hua wouldn't interfere? The demon race showed anger and fear in their eyes, struggling frantically. But under the power of such great Tao, any living creature must kneel and bow down, and no one can be spared. Buzz. The terrifying aura permeated from the summit of Shouyang Mountain, like the entire flood and wilderness. Countless flood and wilderness experts were awakened by this breath. They all raised their heads and looked toward Shouyang Mountain, not knowing what had happened. And in the minds of all the human race around Shouyang Mountain, a grand voice appeared. The human race should be independent. If you want to take control of your destiny, you must bravely and correctly make your own choices. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Human Vibration. The Virgin Mary will not save my people. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Human Vibration. Our Lady will not save our human race. The voice was as majestic as heaven, and all the human race raised their heads to look at the statue of N Yua. They burst into tears of joy, thinking that the Virgin Mary had shown her power and issued an edict to save the human race. Thank you very much for the manifestation of the Virgin Mary. The Virgin Mary has appeared. The human race is saved. The Virgin Mary of the human race has finally appeared. Virgin Mary, please save the human race. Countless human beings bowed and kowtowed incessantly, shedding tears of gratitude. Many even fainted in excitement. Lin Tian looked at these human race and sneered in his heart. N Yua. At this moment, N Yua is sitting upright in the Hua Palace, enjoying the incense of the human race. How could she have time to save the human race? But since their birth, these human races have regarded N Yua as their object of worship, and the power of the human race's Holy Mother has deeply penetrated into people's hearts. Lin Tian also understands that if we want all human races to change their minds, we cannot achieve it overnight. At this moment, the system panel also appeared in front of him. On the panel, there are countless multiple-choice questions waiting for Lin Tian to draw. Lin Tian thought for a moment and directly chose a question. In an instant, the great road was filled with blooming flowers, and the colorful fairy clouds enveloped Shouyang Mountain. The magnificent and majestic sound of the heavenly way washed over all the human race like a tide. A multiple-choice question appeared in their minds at the same time. The human race is in dire straits, with thousands of races in the wilderness. The human race is the weakest. At this critical moment, where is the fate of the human race heading? As the Holy Mother of the human race, the goddess N Yua will not ignore the survival and demise of the human race with her contributions to the founding of the human race. The saint will descend from heaven, protect the human race, and promote the great prosperity of the human race. 2. Laozi, the sage of the Qing dynasty, founded the concept of becoming a saint of human education, and took the survival and demise of the human race as his own responsibility. At this critical moment of the human race's demise, he will pass down the golden elixir avenue and establish a foothold for the human race. The human race will no longer be the last of all races, but should prosper. 3. Saints are merciless. The human race is the body of ants, but it is just a tool for saints to become holy. Even if the human race is destroyed, no one will come to save it. The demon race refines the witch-slaying holy sword, and the human race has no one left, with no plan for death or injury. After this multiple-choice question appears in the minds of all human beings, everyone has the right to choose. People looked at each other, their thoughts racing in their hearts. The multiple-choice question is easy to understand, it's just about choosing what you think the future of the human race will be. At this time, the human race was driven to the foot of Honghuang mountain by the demon race, and countless big demons were lurking around. Apart from relying on the goddess Nuwa and the head of human education, Tai Ching, who else could the human race rely on? At the next moment, someone shouted. This must be the Virgin Mary taking the exam for us. The human race is in danger, so we naturally have to choose the Virgin Mary to save us. That's right, whether it's the goddess of Nuwa or the sage of Tai Ching, they are both the ancestors of our human race. They definitely won't stand idly by. I choose the first one. I choose the second one. Listening to these sounds, Lin Tian stood aside, sighing and feeling overwhelmed in his heart. The human race is weak, and in this situation, no one would believe that the saints they worship day and night really ignore and allow them to be slaughtered by the demon race. Even if some people are already desperate in their hearts, understanding that Nuwa and Tai Ching may not care about their lives. But who wouldn't want some hope? Nuwa and Tai Ching are the last straw in their hearts. Lin Tian sighed slightly and looked at the selection result in the system. At this point, all human races have made their own choices. No surprise, the majority choose the first answer, and a small portion choose the second answer. As for the third answer, no one chooses at all. Lin Tian sighed slightly and directly announced the answer. Boom! The sky brings auspicious colors, and the infinite sound of the Tao permeates. Countless colorful glow spreads on the top of Honghuang mountain. The answer to the question has appeared in the hearts of all human beings. Wrong answer, the correct answer is the third one. The sage of Nuwa used the work of creating humans to become a saint, but the sage was ruthless. Besides, Nuwa was originally a demon race. The human race's calamity was also due to the acquiescence of the sage of Nuwa. The human race cannot rely on the sage of Nuwa to save them. Laozi of Tai Ching relied on the establishment of human education to become a saint, but he had already traveled a long way to pursue the Tao. The danger of the human race was not worth mentioning in his heart. The heavenly way is merciless, and saints are equally merciless. The human race cannot rely on the help of Tai Ching saints. Boom! All the human race are confused. At this moment, everyone's eyes showed a strong sense of confusion. How could the sage Nuwa tacitly allow the demon race to slaughter the human race? We were created by her, were we her children? We pray and worship day and night to be grateful for the grace of the Virgin Mary in creating humanity. But the Virgin Mary tacitly allowed the demon race to slaughter the human race. How could you sit idly by and ignore the fact that the human race will be annihilated? Impossible. This question must be fake. The goddess Nuwa is the holy mother of our human race, how could she ignore us? That's right. It's all nonsense. We were created by the Virgin Mary herself. How could she have witnessed us being slaughtered by the demon race with her own eyes? Our Lady, we don't believe that you will definitely lower the edict to prevent the demon race from killing us, right? Our Lady of the human race, you have created us, and we will not ignore you. Please pray to Our Lady of the human race to save us. People mourn and bow, blood flows into a river. Everyone doesn't believe that the Virgin Mary of the human race will ignore them. Even if some people have doubts in their hearts, at this moment, N.U.W.A. and Tai Ching are their only spiritual pillars. They don't want or believe that N.U.W.A. is really so ruthless. Lin Tian looked at this scene with sadness in his heart. If N.U.W.A. wanted to save people and had already saved them, how could there be a massacre of the human race by 10,000 demons? Thousands of miles away, the great Tao Qiongyin has fallen, and the shackles and constraints on the demon race have also dissipated. They looked at the infinite human race in the distance, with a fierce and bloodthirsty expression in their eyes. Even though the power of the Tao has just emerged, the sage has not descended to the mortal world, nor has he passed down the imperial edict. These human races are destined to be their food, and their flesh and soul will also become the nourishment of the witch-slaying sword. Jie Jie. The weak human race is not worthy of survival in the wilderness. Ha ha ha. Let's turn it into the power of our demon race. I can't hold back anymore, little ants, contribute your flesh and soul. The demon race roared, its 100 tall body blocking the sky and sun, and the terrifying aura made all the human races change their faces. They kowtowed even more crazily, tears and blood streaming down their eyes, their voices hoarse. Our Lady is above, save the human race. The sage of Tai Ching is above, and the teachings of the people will be overthrown. Please save the human race. Goddess of N.U.W.A., the human race is in danger. Please save your children. Everyone is lamenting, the blood and energy on Shouyang Mountain soar to the sky, but it is all the blood flowing out when people kowtow, as well as the blood flowing out of their eyes and mouths. However, at the top of Shouyang Mountain, the woman cried out in sorrow without any emotion. The statue of Hua sat upright, facing the desolation of the human race roar. Thousands of miles away, the roar of the demon race came, and in the outermost human race, it had already turned into flesh and blood in the hands of many uncontrollable demon races. Ha ha ha. Weak human race, go to hell. Too weak, too weak. The flesh and blood of the human race are really delicious. The human race is in danger. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Saints without virtue. Our people should awaken. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Saints without virtue. Our people should awaken. The demon race surrounded Shouyang Mountain thousands of miles away, with a bloodthirsty expression in the copper bell giant's eyes. Their teeth and claws stained with human flesh and blood are ready to move, waiting for a happy massacre later. Roar. Many demon tribes roared up to the sky, with a terrifying aura that made all the human races pale. At this moment, the end of the human race was just around the corner. Everyone looked straight at the statue of N.U.W.A. at the top of Shouyang Mountain with pleading and hopeful eyes. That is the Virgin Mary who created the human race. That is the Virgin Mary of the human race, whom they worship day and night, praying for her peace and prosperity. Our Lady, please, give us the holy edict. We don't want to fly into the sky or become a great clan in the wilderness, we just want to live peacefully and steadily. Blessed Virgin Mary, take a look at your children. A mother raised her daughter high, tears streaming down her face, and her eyes filled with blood. Holy Mother, the Holy Mother of the human race. Please save my child. She's only 5 years old. Our Lady, please help her. Everyone was lamenting, everyone was bowing, and many people suddenly fainted while bowing. Looking at this scene, Lin Tian felt indescribable grief and anger in his heart. He only hated himself for not having the power to connect with heaven and earth, and for not being able to protect his fellow countrymen. The human race is too weak. On the vast land, even if the human race doesn't even want to fly into the sky, become a great clan, and only want to survive, it is an extremely difficult thing. Everyone is looking forward to the towering Virgin Mary of the human race, and the statue of N can reveal her divine power. At this moment, N is the last straw to save the human race. Few people believe the previous multiple-choice questions. Or rather, not many people are willing to believe it. The human race is on the brink of extinction. Would the Virgin Mary, who created the human race, still have to watch with cold eyes? Thousands of miles away, a grand and indifferent voice emanates from the minds of many demon clans. The demon emperor has orders to slaughter the human race and refine the sword of witch slaying. There must be no mistakes. Yes. Oh. Finally, I can let go of my hands and feet to kill. Ha ha ha. Weak humans, you are only worthy of becoming the nourishment of the witch-slaying sword. The human race is so weak, what's the use of living? Ha ha ha. Contribute your souls. Boom. A huge voice came from afar, and the massive bodies of the demon tribes splashed dust that covered the sky and sun on the earth. With just one wave of their claws, thousands of human races died in an extraordinary way. With a wave of the soul-summoning banner, hundreds of thousands of human beings became immortal souls. The soul locked on the summoning banner will eventually become the nourishment of the witch-slaying sword. Endless and bright red blood spurted out, and under the crazy laughter of the demon tribes, the blood flowed into a river. The sky seems to have turned red, and the earth is like a swamp. Fragmented limbs and flesh, scattered in a sea of blood. On the randomly crushed head, the blood-red eyes never closed until death. The hatred, incomprehension, despair, and fear in it merged into mournful songs, echoing through heaven and earth. The soul has returned, not dreaming of spring and autumn. Returning to the afterlife, unwilling to sacrifice day and night. Lament carries the heavens and earth, the sorrow of the human race. Up to the divine, listening to the desolation. An old chieftain of a large human tribe sang the lament of the human race. 1, 2, 10, 20. Everyone started singing along. The end of the human race is in dire straits, there is no more way to go. Blood-colored raindrops fall, mixed in everyone's tears. Looking at this scene, Lin Tian felt indescribable sorrow in his heart. This is his fellow race. In the distance, those terrifying demon tribes are indiscriminately killing the human race, and the human race will perish. System, can I do the second multiple-choice question now? Lin Tian sternly asked in his heart, with blood in his eyes and a strong aura all over his body. He was already extremely angry. Report to the host that the preparation is complete and we can proceed to the second quiz. The sweet sound of the system came out, and Lin Tian didn't hesitate to spread out a long selected question. Boom. The sound of the great road falls again. Endless Honghuang is densely covered, colorful fairy clouds diffuse in the void, countless chains of order seem to span across heaven and earth, and countless ancient gods and demons seem to rise and fall amidst the mist of immortality. The terrifying aura swings from the top of Honghuang mountain in all directions. Buzz. Those demon clans who were killing recklessly and their faces were full of ferocity suddenly realized that their bodies could not move again. They were forced to fall to the ground and bow down towards the summit of Honghuang mountain. The hearts of countless demon clans are filled with panic. What's the situation? Did Your Majesty the Demon Emperor make a mistake in his prediction? Did a saint really intervene in it? Impossible. The human race is weak, and no one will stand up for them in the wilderness. Roar. What's going on here? Countless demon tribes were suppressed on the ground and unable to move, but in just this moment, millions of humans had already died at their hands. Blood rain poured down the sky, as if heaven was also crying for the tragic fate of the human race. Countless human races knelt on the ground, bowing down to the statue of Nu at the top of Honghuang mountain. At this moment, the sound of the Tao permeated, and a multiple-choice question once again appeared in the minds of all human beings. The human race is in danger. If we don't make a choice, there is a risk of extinction. What kind of choice can make the human race truly grow on the vast land? 1. Continue to kneel down and worship Emperor Hua and Emperor Taiqing. The sage's intentions cannot be guessed. Leave fate here, and the result is waiting for the demon tribe to slaughter. 2. The human race should be independent and self-strengthening, not seeking others, but relying on their own bodies. If Nu does not save each other, then she will depose the Hua emperor. The human race should stand on its own in the wilderness. There are only two options for this choice. But no matter which one, it seems difficult for the human race to choose. Continuing to kneel and hand over fate to the sage, is it grace? Is self-reliance and self-improvement enough to depose Emperor Hua? The human race is so weak, it seems to be the first time they have been able to control their own destiny. The human race remained silent for a long time, with no one making a choice. They knelt under the statue of Nu, their eyes full of confusion and confusion. They really don't want to believe the answer in that multiple-choice question. But the fact seems to explain everything again. Where is the Virgin Mary when the human race is slaughtered by the demon race? Where is Taiqing? Where is the Virgin Mary when the human race kneels and worships endlessly, with blood flowing like a river? Where is Taiqing? Do we really need to continue believing in saints? Do you really have to entrust your fate to the Virgin Mary? Why ignore the fact that Our Lady Nu created us? Why allow the demon tribe to slaughter? Why? At this moment, some people had doubts in their hearts. They looked at the statue of Nu, and their expression gradually changed from respect, love, and immense trust to a little doubt. And in the sky, suddenly there was a thunder. The sea of blood fills the sky, and large drops of bright red blood rain fall from the sky. A mother suddenly lifted her hand and caught a drop of blood rain. Then, she looked at her daughter in her arms, who had already lost her life, with 2 lines of blood and tears streaming down her eyes. Ah! A mournful cry emanated from this mother's mouth. 1 person stood up, 2 people stood up. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Lin Tian appears. Anger at Nu. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 6. Lin Tian appears. Anger at Nu. Honghuang Mountain Peak. Countless human beings knelt in front of the statue of Nu, lamenting and pleading, with blood on their foreheads and a look of despair in their eyes. But the tall statue of Nu remained motionless, like a cold stone, indifferent to the world, bloodless and heartless. Our Lady, we don't believe. You will never give up on your children. Madonna, please save us. I beg for the grace of the Virgin Mary, to lower the imperial edict and save the human race. Most people are still under the statue of Nu, with a sorrowful expression and desperate eyes kowtowing. They don't want to believe that since the human race was born on this vast land, the goddess Nu, who worshipped day and night, would really ignore them and let them be slaughtered by the terrifying demon race. But there is still a small group of people who stood up silently in the rain of blood all over the sky. 1, 2. 100, 200. They looked at the tall and indifferent statue of N.U.A., their eyes no longer filled with respect and love, but with deep sadness and doubt. They pray day and night, praying for the safety and prosperity of the Virgin Mary, as if she has never cast a single glance on the human race. Is such a Virgin Mary really worth their kneeling down to? Is this kind of N.U.A. saint really the Virgin Mary who created the human race in their hearts? No one spoke out, but more and more people stood up. Outside the 9 heavens, there is a magnificent palace, nestled in the mist of immortality, fluctuating in ups and downs. The sound of the great road permeates and lingers, and the chain of order explores in the void, reflecting the entire palace with unparalleled grandeur and grandeur. This is the palace of Empress Hua, the first saint to become a saint in the wilderness after the Taoist ancestors. Hua Imperial Palace. At this moment, N.U.A., with her head and snake body, had a calm expression and a graceful demeanor. She was lazily lying on the bed made of 9 heavenly immortal jade, closing her eyes to comprehend the chaotic path. She naturally already knew about the tragic situation of the human race. But for her, what if the human race dies 90%? As long as we are not exterminated, no matter what happens, we cannot compare to the chaotic road in front of us. However, at one moment, N.U.A. suddenly opened her eyes. In my eyes, the road of chaos is full of ups and downs, as if there are sun, moon, and stars emerging and disappearing within it. Just now, she seemed to notice a slight vibration in her saint's position. Little human race, surprisingly able to shake the fruit position of my sage, it can be considered that you have some ability. N.U.A. gave a cold smile and slowly closed her eyes. The position of the sage is incredibly firm, and the human race is just being forced too much by the demon race, resulting in some inappropriate thoughts. As long as she goes to show kindness when the human race is on the brink of extinction, she can regain her position as a saint. So, N.U.A. didn't take it seriously. Little human race, it's really not worth N.U.A.'s too much attention. The human race is filled with sorrow and sorrow. Lin Tian watched this scene, his eyes full of blood and his heart filled with anger. Even now, N.U.A. still sits upright in the Hua Palace with no intention of appearing. For N.U.A., the human race is just a tool for becoming holy. As long as the race is not exterminated, what is the relationship between the number of deaths and injuries and her? The Virgin Mary, who worships the human race day and night, has never truly regarded the human race as her children, and has contributed endless incense and virtue. Why does such a N.U.A. still kneel and worship her? Lin Tian couldn't help but stand in front of everyone and glared angrily at the statue of N.U.A. What are you waiting for? N.U.A. has never taken the human race to heart. Is she still worthy of your kneeling worship? I, Lin Tian, would never kneel down and worship such a so-called saint. The human race worships and prays day and night, thanking N.U.A. for her kindness in creating humans, but what about N.U.A.? She just sees the human race as a tool for sanctification. If this is a trade, then N.U.A. has already received the reward from the heavenly way. Why should our human race kneel down and worship her like this? Lin Tian's words were like slaps, fiercely slapping the faces of every human kneeling on the ground. Some people with lifeless faces and hopeless expressions, whose eyes have lost their luster, seem to have found a way to vent their despair. The reason why he dares this anger is not unfounded. On the one hand, if he and the human race want to become stronger, then they can only lead the human race's will to make the right choice under this choice question. There is no other way. Secondly, he was only bound by his own destiny in the human race, so the sage at this time dared not harm him. Through the multiple-choice question system, he knew that Honghuang Daozu would never sit and watch the sage attack the human race. The small human race could actually affect Honghuang's control over the flood and the heavenly way. It was only after confirming these things that he said these words to N.U.A. Shut up. Yellow-mouthed child, how could you be so disrespectful? Kneel down quickly. Goddess Nu will never give up on my human race. Holy Mother, please don't blame this yellow-mouthed child. He is crazy and has fallen into the evil law of the demon race. Countless people angrily pointed at Lin Tian and cursed incessantly. Lin Tian's face was sad, and he didn't blame these people for cursing him. These people just lost hope in their hearts. Nu, have you seen it? Even if you are so ruthless, these tragic human races are still defending you. Lin Tian's face showed a mocking expression, and his eyes were full of blood. Then, he let out a roar. Nu, have you seen it? Boom! A thunderbolt exploded from the sky, and countless human races lifted their heads, revealing fear in their eyes. And those who stood up also instinctively looked up at the sky. How much they expected this to be the arrival of the Virgin Mary, even if it was just an explanation, they would instantly dispel their doubts in their hearts, and even be willing to apologize with death, washing away their delusions of suspecting the Virgin Mary. However, no. Lin Tian sneered and stood directly in front of the statue of Nu, lifting his arm and pointing directly at Nu. Since the Virgin Mary of Nu is unwilling to protect our human race, then our human race will become independent and self-reliant. An elder from the human tribe stood up trembling, with a sorrowful expression and despair almost overflowing in his eyes. In this vast wilderness, there is no room for our human race to stand firm. If the Virgin Mary does not protect the human race, then the human race will perish. That's right, as a human race nowadays, there are no other options. It's not easy to be independent and self-reliant. An old chieftain's face was numb, his whole body trembled, and his voice carried a strong sense of despair. Lin Tian looked at them and then looked down at the countless kneeling human race below. The sadness and anger in his heart are almost overflowing. Now that the end of the human race is at hand, Lin Tian also knows that survival is not easy on the vast land. However, in the current situation of the human race, are there any other options? Only self-reliance and self-improvement. Since birth, the human race has been struggling to survive on the dangerous and desolate land. The Virgin Mary Nu needed earth and created humans, using her merits to become a saint, but she never took care of the human race again. Is such a saint, such a Virgin Mary, worthy of our kneeling worship? Is Nu still worthy of becoming the Virgin Mary of our human race? Tai Ching Laozi established a human education system, but only falsely accepted an apprentice and collected most of the human race's luck. When the human race was slaughtered by the demon race, where was the saint of Tai Ching? Where was the lady of Nu? Human race, do we really have to continue to kneel down and worship them, waiting for the grace of the saints, and descending the imperial edict to save the human race? I, Lin Tian, will never worship such heartless and unjust saints. The human race stands on their own in the world, with no choice but to rely on themselves. Lin Tian's indignant voice echoed from the top of Shouyang Mountain. Just now, the people who were cursing at him were silent. In the Hua Palace, the eyes that Nu had just closed instantly opened again. My eyes are full of doubts and confusion. Her saintly position shook violently again. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Fruit Position Shakes. Nu descended. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Fruit Position Shakes. Nu descended. At the foot of Shouyang Mountain, billions of people remain silent. Blood rain keeps falling, a breath mixed with unwillingness, humiliation, and anger rises from the crowd. Lin Tian is right. The human race struggled to survive for thousands of years, becoming a plaything for the demon race, and being slaughtered by the two witch and demon races with just one thought, not just a tribe. The goddess Nu created the human race, that's right. But what about after creation? How can the frail body of the human race survive on such a dangerous and wasteland? Is the human race created just to become the food for the demon race? People have thought about what Lin Tian said. It's just that no one dares to say it. Where were Nu and Tai Ching when they were slaughtered by the demon tribe? When people lose their parents and children, where are Nu and Tai Ching? Do they really treat the human race as their own? Can't they see the human race being mercilessly slaughtered by the various tribes in the wilderness? Is this kind of Nu and Tai Ching still worthy of becoming the holy mother of the human race and the head of human religion? No one spoke up. A group of people stood up, another group of people stood up. In the end, after Lin Tian's roar, most of the human race stood up. They calmly looked straight at the statue of Nu sitting on the top of Shouyang Mountain, with no respect or pleading in their eyes. They had understood. Nu won't come to save them. What should the human race do? Did the human race just die like this? A young man cried and roared in pain, lifted his head and glared at the sky. How unfair the way of heaven is. How unfair the sage is. Where will the human race go? Many people were crying bitterly, and despair rose among the crowd. Lin Tian's face was heavy, and he raised his right arm and roared loudly. I, Lin Tian, hereby make the heavenly Tao oath. I am willing to fight for a piece of heaven and earth for the human race. I am willing to shield the human race from wind and rain. I will lead the human race to truly establish a foothold on the vast land. I will make these 9 days and 10 earth tribes no longer dare to use my human race as food for food. I want to provide support for the elderly and support for the young of the human race. I want all human races to have enough to eat. I want the human race to become the protagonist in this world. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, waves of thunder and lightning came from above. Lin Tian glared angrily at the sky, fearless and fearless. The numerous demon tribes still suppressed thousands of miles away couldn't help but laugh when they heard Lin Tian's oath. Ha ha ha. I'm afraid this human race is not crazy, is it? Jie jie. With such a weak race as the human race, what can we become the protagonist of heaven and earth? In the vast world, only our demon race can be the only protagonist. Roar. I can't help it anymore. The flesh and blood of this human race who stands up will definitely be even sweeter. The demon clan sneered incessantly, waiting for the moment when the suppression faded away, and then launched the craziest slaughter. The human race's flesh and soul will surely become the nourishment for the demon race's witch-slaying holy sword. However, just as they sneered. But suddenly I saw a stunning scene. After Lin Tian pointed to the sky and made a vow of the heavenly way, the sky was filled with thunder and lightning. In the next moment, amidst the surprised and fearful expressions of countless demon clans, a colorful glow filled with the immortal sound of the avenue unexpectedly fell out of thin air. Is this the merit of the heavenly way? This little human race has made a vow of the heavenly way, but has it really been recognized by the heavenly way? This is impossible. How could the heavenly Tao respond to the oath of such a weak race? Why are they? The demon race roared incessantly, unable to believe their own eyes. In front of the statue of Nu, Lin Tian pointed to the sky and bathed in the merits of the heavenly way. Then, he turned around and looked at countless people who were looking at him with stunning expressions, roaring again. I, Lin Tian, want to make the human race truly independent and strong, without relying on anyone. I want the human race to become the most powerful ethnic group on the vast land, so that the witch and demon races can no longer bully my human race. I want to lead the human race towards the true wasteland. In the end, Lin Tianchen roared angrily. I want to depose the goddess of Wa. Boom. Thunder echoed again in the sky, and the chain of order spread out from the void. During the period when the Great Road was shrouded in Honghuang and colorful fairy clouds, the terrifying atmosphere startled all living beings on the vast land. The glow extending millions of miles falls from the endless sky, completely enveloping the forest sky. Heavenly Way Merit. Is it Heavenly Way Merit again? A tall demon tribe couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. This small human race, disrespectful to the Saint N.U.A., has brought about the arrival of heavenly merit. What is this situation? While the demon tribes were shocked, all the human tribes were awakened by what Lin Tian said. Everyone stood up and looked straight at the top of Honghuang mountain. But at this moment, they were not worshipping the statue of the Virgin Mary as before, but looking at the young man standing in front of the statue, bathing in the merits of the heavenly way. Lin Tian looked at everyone and shouted loudly. What are you waiting for? Boom. At this moment, everyone understood their situation, even though there were some human beings who didn't want to believe that the Virgin Mary of N.U.A. had indeed abandoned the human race long ago. They still made their own choices in their minds. Choose the second option, human independence. I choose the second one, depose Emperor Wa, there is no one in the human race to rely on. Choose the second one, the human race can only rely on themselves. Amidst Lin Tian's roar, countless human races silently made their own choices. At the moment of making the choice, a true sense of indomitability belonging to the human race gradually converges from the firm gaze and clenched fists of each person. The human race should be independent and strong. A young man roars. The human race should be independent and strong. The human race should be independent and strong. Everyone roared along, and at this moment, the will of the human race truly awakened. Wa Imperial Palace. The shocked expression in N.U.A.'s eyes had not yet faded, and her face suddenly changed wildly. Just now, she suddenly felt that the connection between herself and the human race was gradually breaking down. You should know that the reason why N.U.A. became a saint was the founding of the human race. The human race and her status as a saint, as well as her own strength, are closely related. If the human aura is really disconnected from her, then although she will not lose her position as a saint, her strength will definitely be greatly reduced. Buzz. The next second, N.U.A.'s figure will disappear directly from the Wa Palace. At the top of Honghuang Mountain, in front of Lin Tian, the answer to the second multiple-choice question was emerging. Most human races have already made their own choices, and they have all chosen the second option. The human race should be independent and self-strengthening, not seeking others, but relying on their own bodies. If N.U.A. does not save each other, then she will depose Emperor Wa. The human race should stand on its own in the wilderness. Boom. Suddenly, the avenue shook, and a breath of destruction appeared in front of everyone. The heavenly immortal sound permeates, the flower of Tao rhyme emerges, and the divine chain of order hums. Everyone raised their heads and looked at the statue of N.U.A. N.U.A., descend. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Saints without virtue. We will depose the sage. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Saints without virtue. We will depose the sage. A terrifying aura rises from behind. Lin Tianzhen was unable to react at all and was crushed by the momentum of N.U.A.'s arrival. Fortunately, at this moment, he was still shrouded in the holy light of the heavenly way's merits and virtues. N.U.A. could only oppress him with holy power, but could not directly attack him. Lin Tian struggled to turn around and stared at the figure that seemed to be the center of the entire flood and wasteland. "En Yuhua. Who is speaking loudly in front of my statue and making such a vow to disturb my cultivation?" The statue of En Yuhua shone brightly, shrouded in endless glow. As soon as it descended, it directly put a big hat on the human race. Blasphemy and disrupt cultivation. Lin Tian couldn't help but sneer. Even if facing the Saint En Yuhua standing on the top of the entire wilderness, he doesn't mind at this moment. When the human race was slaughtered, you were not there, and when the human race was driven away by the demon race as livestock, you were not there. Just as I made a vow to lead the human race to sever ties with you, En Yuhua, you suddenly appeared. What kind of saint is such a saint? Just a selfish and emotionless puppet of the heavenly way. En Yuhua saint is above, it's me. Lin Tian remained neither humble nor overbearing, earnestly arched his hand and saluted. In terms of addressing, she no longer verbally refers to the Virgin Mary, but directly refers to En Yuhua as the En Yuhua sage. This kind of address, in the wilderness, represents that the other party is an unrelated Taoist friend. Countless demon tribes are furious. En Yuhua is not only the holy mother of the human race, but also a giant of the demon race, and they all roar out loud. Bold, little human race, surprisingly so disrespectful in front of Empress En Yuhua. Have you forgotten that Empress En Yuhua worked hard to create humans? Kneel down and admit your mistake. Goddess En Yuhua may spare your life. The little human race is such an ungrateful person. Lin Tian didn't even hear the roar of the demon race. He just looked straight at En Yuhua, with a fearless expression in his eyes. En Yuhua gave him a faint glance, and a hint of displeasure appeared on her delicate face. She snorted lightly and said calmly. "Are you making the oath of the heavenly way recklessly and disturbing my practice? Do you know this is a capital offense?" Lin Tian knew in his heart that En Yuhua would definitely not spare him lightly, but since the matter had reached this point, he had nothing to fear anymore. Staring at the sacred power of En Yuhua, Lin Tian bowed slightly and said calmly. "En Yuhua sage, you misunderstood. As human beings, we just want to make a living on our own in the vast land. What's wrong with this? If we just want to survive, it can be considered as disturbing your cultivation. As human beings, we have nothing to say. Please forgive us for our sins." Boom. As soon as these words were spoken, many powerful beings from all directions who had already gathered to join the excitement when Lin Tian's merit in guiding the heavenly way arrived were immediately shocked. How dare this weak human race speak like this? The meaning of his words is that we just want to survive. If this is considered disturbing the cultivation of the En Yuhua sage, then does the En Yuhua sage want the human race to die? If that's really the case, then you can blame it. We still have to continue to offend. En Yuhua is the first saint to become a saint under the Taoist ancestors in the vast wilderness. Normally, when a saint gets angry, everything will turn upside down. How could anyone dare to talk to her like this? Many great experts are somewhat gloating. Anyway, a friend of the dead is not a friend of the poor. Some people are angry at En Yuhua, and they have also seen the wonders of the wilderness. However, En Yuhua, who appeared on the statue, choked on what Lin Tian had said. She used her sage consciousness to look at the tiny human race in front of her, but was shocked to find that it seemed that all the hearts and gods of the human race were connected to him. What Lin Tian said represents the common will of all human races. Surprisingly, no one came out to refute him. And En Yuhua also noticed that the luck of the human race seemed to be vaguely intertwined with Lin Tian. Countless human beings at the foot of Shouyang Mountain looked at her with eyes that were no longer respectful and affectionate, but as cold and indifferent as looking at strangers. En Yuhua was puzzled in her heart. It's just a short day, how could the human race become like this? And just as she was puzzled, all the human race heard Lin Tian's words clearly, and everyone looked at En Yuhua with inquiring eyes. The human race is waiting for Nua's answer. I understand that during the slaughter of the demon tribe, I did not intervene to save them, so the human race harbors resentment. But you know that in the vast expanse of heaven and earth, everything has a fixed number. This is the rule of the heavenly way, which has been the case since the opening of the heavens and earth by the great god Pangu. How can you be an exception to this? Nowadays, you are entangled with the demon race, and your identity is not unknown. If I don't take action, it is already your good fortune. How can you act recklessly? I advise you not to mistake yourself and fall into the demon barrier. This cycle of causality is already the way of heaven, can't you still see it clearly? After a moment, Nua's calm voice rang out between heaven and earth, as if the sound of the heavens and the earth were the same. Once this statement is made, sorrow and sorrow have emerged in the hearts of all the human race. Even those who have not yet made a choice, their expressions have dimmed. They pursed their lips bitter and clenched their fists. They understood what Nua said. Although I am the holy mother of the human race, I am also a giant of the demon clan. You are entangled with the demon clan, and it would be great if I didn't take action. How could you expect me to help you? What kind of heavenly cycle, what kind of karma at this moment, all the human race understood. Nua has never been the Virgin Mary they thought could save the human race. She just regarded the human race as a tool for sanctification. Multiple choice questions are not wrong, human race, you can't rely on anyone. You can only rely on yourself, be independent and strong. At this moment, all human races made their own choices with bitterness. And a sense of tragedy rises from everyone's heart. They looked at Nua's expression, without any more pleading, expectation, respect or affection, only a cold indifference remained. Upon hearing Nua's words, Lin Tian also became furious. The human race has supported you for thousands of years and contributed countless merits and incense to you. How could you effortlessly reveal it with just one sentence? I won't take action, it's already your honor. What is the difference between this behavior of being born without nurturing, and even continuing to occupy the position of the Virgin Mary of the human race with a noble voice, and shameless villains? Nua sage, you are sitting upright in the Wa Palace, unaware of the suffering of the human race. Do you know that our human race's goal is not to become a great clan in the wilderness, nor to fly into the sky and earth, but to simply survive? The human race is weak. After you founded the human race, did you ever care about us? Did you know that the human race lives in dire straits every day? When did the human race and the demon race become entangled? The demon race is just a simple slaughter of the human race, can't you see it? Did the human race just want to survive and become a sin? Lin Tian's voice grew louder and more resentful. In the end, he clasped his hands and calmly looked at Nua, bowing. Since that's the case, please forgive us, the human race, and we can no longer continue to worship the goddess Nua. From then on, my human race only lives for myself. I, as a human race, live only for the purpose of covering my body with clothing, keeping my house warm from the cold, and satisfying my stomach with food. I will no longer be slaughtered and enslaved by the demon race. Here, all the human race pays tribute to the creation of the goddess Nua, and invites the saint to let us have a way out. Boom! As soon as Lin Tian finished speaking, countless Honghuang experts who came to join the fun were stunned. Donghuang Tai and Demon Emperor Jun have already arrived thousands of miles away from Shouyang Mountain. After all, Lin Tian's oath not only affected the fruit position of Nua sage, but also greatly affected his demonic luck. At this moment, upon hearing Lin Tian's rebellious words, Emperor Jun was extremely angry and directly offered a treasure that emitted a terrifying aura. How audacious! How dare you be so disrespectful to the sage Nua? Today I will make you die. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. This farewell. With the Virgin Mary. No further involvement. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. This farewell. With the Virgin Mary. No further involvement. Boom. The treasure of Emperor Jun was offered, but it was the top-notch innate spiritual treasure that accompanied him from the Sun Star. Emperor Jun was extremely angry and directly sacrificed this precious treasure of his life. However, at this moment, Lin Tian was bathed in the divine light of the heavenly way's merits and virtues, and even N.U.W. could only oppress her with divine power. How could Emperor Jun truly attack? At the moment when he presented the He Tu Luo book, the power of the heavenly way was directly suppressed. Puff. Emperor Jun's eyes showed fear, and he was directly repelled by a blow from the heavenly Tao. His whole body was like cracks, and his momentum plummeted. I originally wanted to show my face in front of the sage N.U.W., but ended up being severely beaten by the heavenly Tao at this moment. Emperor Jun's face flickered with a green and red color, and he could only retreat to the side of the demon tribe in silence for healing. On Shouyang Mountain, Lin Tian looked straight at N.U.W. without respect or disdain. N.U.W. sage, thank you to the human race for your kindness in creation. From then on, the human race has no further connection with you. After speaking, Lin Tian faced the pressure of the sage and bowed down with difficulty, bowing respectfully. Goodbye. It is to cut off the cause and effect between the human race and the N.U.W. sage. Goodbye. Even more so, it directly made N.U.W. saint's fruit position vibrate wildly. In the next moment, in N.U.W.'s extremely angry gaze, all the human race followed Lin Tian and deeply bowed down. Boom. A roar that could only be heard by N.U.W. herself rang out from her mind. That's the roar of the main road. It's the crazy vibration of the sage's fruit position. It's the sound of her breaking ties with the human race's luck. N.U.W.'s face was as cold as ice, and her anger could no longer be controlled. She is a saint, and the first saint to become a saint under the Taoist ancestor. When did she receive such insults? At the next moment, the statue of N.U.W. lifted its right palm, and the heavenly power of the sage shook. Boom. If this palm falls, not to mention Lin Tian, who is just $1 billion human race like ants, Shouyang Mountain will probably be turned into me fun. The bustling outside world shook their heads one after another. In their eyes, this human race is truly unaware of life and death, and surprisingly so enraged the sage. How can the power of a sage be easily humiliated? With N.U.W.'s palm, there will probably be no more human race in the future. Just as many great beings in the wilderness sighed slightly, and the spirits of the demon race were uplifted, N.U.W. was about to take action and use terrifying sage methods to crush these ignorant ants in front of her. An invisible wave instantly enveloped the entire world. A faint resistance appeared under the palm of N.U.W. Make her instantly change her expression. This is the power of the heavenly way, which is actually preventing N.U.W. from destroying the human race. Many powerful and demonic beings in the wilderness naturally feel the heavenly power that cannot rise up to resist. Many experts looked at each other with confusion in their eyes. How could the heavenly Tao personally descend? You should know that when Lin Tian made the oath of the heavenly way before, the heavenly way had not yet descended, only the holy light of merit had descended. During the flood and famine period, the heavenly way was greatly revealed, but it is still difficult to see such a situation where the heavenly way surrendered in person. When N.U.W. frowned, she saw the power of the heavenly way lingering on every human race. At this moment, it seems that the heavenly Tao agreed with what Lin Tian said. From then on, the human race has no further relationship with N.U.W. Cause and effect have been broken. Boom. The aura on Nuwa's body suddenly declined. She was originally a saint who inherited the merits of human beings, and her strength and achievements were closely related to the luck of the human race. Now, under Lin Tian's oath, all human beings have severed their faith in Nuwa. This is equivalent to causing Nuwa to lose the continuous energy, merits, and incense of the human race from the root. From then on, although Nuwa will not lose her position as a saint, she is destined to be the weakest among all saints. After the power of the heavenly way lingered on all the human race for a moment, it all gathered on Lin Tian. The intangible and intangible power of the heavenly way ultimately condensed into a big seal filled with infinite merit in Lin Tian's hands. Emperor's Seal. After the human Emperor Seal was condensed, countless celestial clouds fell in the void, and countless Qian Qianghua appeared out of thin air. Then all of them merged into the human Emperor Seal, carving 5 auspicious divine beasts on its surface, including the green dragon, white tiger, vermilion bird, Xuanwu, and Qilin. Boom! In the end, the Emperor's seal slowly rose and seeped into Lin Tian's forehead. At this moment, Lin Tian could clearly perceive every human race. He understood that at this moment, he had become the emperor of the human race. And in the hearts of all the human race, Lin Tian's appearance immediately appeared. All human beings respectfully bow to Shouyang Mountain. In the past, such bowing was all about worshipping the Virgin Mary of the human race, Nuwa. But at this moment, what people worship is the young figure who has taken refuge and made a vow of the heavenly way for the human race. Farewell to the Emperor. Farewell to the Emperor. The grand voice seemed to condense into an indomitable will. From now on, the human race will no longer respect any saints, but only rely on themselves and strive for self-reliance and self-improvement. At this moment, Lin Tian also directly summoned the system. The second multiple-choice question, all the human race has already made a choice. Congratulations to the host, all human races have chosen the correct answer. All human races can obtain heal elevation, the innate human race can be elevated to the Xianling Dao body, and the acquired human race can be elevated to the innate human race. Because the overall accuracy rate of the human race is full marks, the host can receive the highest reward as follows. Innate Treasure 12 Rank Pure World White Lotus, Innate Ultimate Spirit Root 5 Needle Pine, Chaos Power Demon God Heal. After seeing the reward, Lin Tian couldn't help but shudder. Among these rewards, the 12th grade Pure World White Lotus is the differentiation of the Chaos Treasure Creation World Green Lotus. That is the Chaos Treasure that gave birth to the Pangu Great God. This Pure World White Lotus is also an innate treasure level, with a natural cycle of Dao rhyme and unparalleled defense. With this Pure World White Lotus, as long as it can be completely refined, even the great Luo Golden Immortal cannot break it. Although the 5-needle pine has no obvious reputation, its effect is not less than that of the ginseng fruit. 5-needle pine nurtures a total of 50 fruits, divided into the 5 elements of gold, wood, water, fire, and earth. Eating 1 fruit each can save countless years of cultivation. And what shocked Lin Tian the most was the final chaos power demon god Heal. Who is the demon god of chaotic power? What a special Pangu. What this system rewards is actually the follower of the great god Pangu. The heavens and the earth were split by the great god Pangu with 1 axe. It can be said that Pangu's followers are the top-level followers of the entire Honghuang. If such a mishap were leaked, even Daozu Hongjun would be envious. Lin Tian was excited in his heart. Now that he had offended Nuwa, his strength naturally became stronger and better. Nuwa's heart and eyes are probably the smallest among all saints. From the time when King Zhou was enfeoffed as a god in later generations, he only uttered a few lewd words, and then she sent 3 demons to confuse the court. The most shameful thing is that in the end, the 3 demons completed her mission and were even directly beheaded by her, for the incredible excuse of confusing the court and not allowing you to harm loyalty and righteousness. So, Lin Tian, who offended N Yuhua, didn't even need to think about it. He knew that N Yuhua would definitely retaliate wildly. The danger of the human race is far from being resolved. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Do multiple choice questions again. My true goal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Do multiple choice questions again. My true purpose. On Shouyang Mountain. The statue of N Yuhua was originally created by the human race to worship her, which is equivalent to the connection between the human race and N Yuhua. Now, the cause and effect between N Yuhua and the human race has been severed. So, amidst countless astonished expressions in the vast wilderness, that statue shattered with a loud bang. The holy spirit of N Yuhua floats in mid-air, already shrouded in infinite Tao rhyme and fairy clouds, unable to see her face clearly anymore. But at this moment, everyone knows that she must have been extremely angry. However, with the power of the heavenly way on his side, this despicable thief in front of him directly became the emperor. No matter how angry Yuhua is, she can only wait for the power of the heavenly way to dissipate before taking action. Many great powers in the wilderness looked at Lin Tian, who was shrouded in the power of the heavenly way, and then at the terrifying figure of the Holy Spirit, shaking their heads and sighing. Unfortunately, if the power of the heavenly way dissipates, the sage N Yuhua may still slap her. What about the emperor? If he doesn't become a saint, he will eventually become an ant. That's right, I'm afraid the human race will be sad about this disaster. The human race is also unaware of life and death. Now that they have completely fallen out with N Yuhua, how could the face of a saint be so easy? The demon clan is even more eyeing. Tai, Emperor Jun, and others are all waiting for the power of the heavenly way to dissipate. At the moment when the heavenly way recedes, it is the moment when the human race bloodstains Shouyang Mountain. Previously, the demon race was worried that N Yuhua might protect the human race, but now in this situation, they no longer have to worry and can slaughter to their heart's content. Little human race, today is the time for your extermination. I originally planned to leave a glimmer of hope for the human race, only refining the slaying witch sword from the 9 adult race. Now it seems that this weak and ignorant tribe should be completely annihilated. Roar. I can't hold back my inner desire anymore. Human race, contribute your flesh and soul. The demon race grinned their huge mouths, ferocious and terrifying. However, just as they were about to take action, Lin Tian had already directly distributed the system rewards. Boom. In an instant, billions of people simultaneously improved their skills. The acquired human race is immediately elevated to innate, while the innate human race is directly elevated to the mystical spiritual body. A 2-person promotion naturally won't cause any fluctuations. But now it is the overall improvement of the human race. This terrifying situation even directly affects the weather of heaven and earth. In the eyes of many great powers in the wilderness, this once extremely weak human race suddenly seems like a new generation, and its overall qualifications have risen to a higher level. This is... what? How could it be? Surprisingly, all the human race's feet have been raised. Following in the wilderness is the most important thing. A good heel can not only improve the speed of cultivation, but also have higher potential for cultivation. Like the witch race, they have already possessed the terrifying power and physical strength that are invincible in the wilderness, taking advantage of the thin bloodline of the great god Pangu. Sanqing and other saints, passed down from Pangde Yuanshan, have all become saints. Nowadays, the overall improvement of the human race has brought more than just doubling in strength to the entire human race. The human race naturally discovered their own improvement. The most obvious thing is that in people's perception, the vast world seems to be closer to themselves. In the past, when practicing, it was extremely difficult to absorb spiritual energy, but at this moment, it seemed like actively drilling into the body. Some human cultivators who were on the verge of breaking through directly broke through a great realm at this moment. Lin Tian looked at the prosperity of the human race and nodded in satisfaction. Then, he directly claimed his reward in the system. Anyway, the power of the heavenly way was still by her side, and Nuwa was angry and speechless. She waited for the power of the heavenly way to dissipate before slapping herself to death. At this time, there's no need to improve strength, what else can we do? System, receive the chaos power demon god heal. Receive the 5-needle pine. Receive the 12-rank pure world white lotus. Lin Tian spoke in a deep voice in his mind, and the next second, the 12th grade pure world white lotus appeared directly at Lin Tian's feet. 5 strings of crystal clear fruits, like pine cones, also appeared directly in Lin Tian's hands. As for the Pan Gu heal, of course, it directly integrated into the Lin celestial body. Boom! The vast immortal sound resounded from within the forest celestial body, and infinite Tao rhyme and heavenly Tao Qianghua emerged from around him. The moment Pangu's heel appeared, it directly triggered the roar of the road. Lin Tian's eyebrows furrowed slightly, and a severe pain emanated from his body. And his momentum also crazily climbed at this moment. Boom! The divine chain of order emerges from the void and surrounds the Lin Tian body, with infinite Tao rhyme permeating the air and Qianghua Xianxia enveloping it. Countless great powers in the vast expanse of the sky have been startled. I didn't read it wrong, did I? Is that the innate treasure, the 12th grade pure world white lotus? A red-haired Taoist exclaimed in surprise, with an incredulous expression in his eyes. The other Taoist with a sly expression was also in an uncontrollable state of shock, pointing at Lin Tian and holding back for a while before uttering a sentence. The emperor of this human race seems to be holding a 5-needle pine with innate spiritual roots. Many great powers in the wilderness are all sour at this moment. It's not so easy to obtain top-quality innate spiritual treasures. This 12-grade pure world white lotus, no one has ever known where it is, but unexpectedly, it was obtained by this human race emperor. That innate spiritual root is also a good thing that countless great beings in the wilderness strive for, but cannot obtain at all. Now, surprisingly, all of them have been obtained by Lin Tian. For a moment, the eyes of many great powers in the wilderness turned red. As the saying goes, treasures with virtue reside there. In the vast world, treasures should be inhabited by the strong. In their eyes, this human emperor is just a primordial infant cultivation, not even a fairy. How can he possess such a precious treasure? But the sage Nuwa was right next to Lin Tian, and even if they wanted to grab it, they couldn't do it anymore. The footsteps of Pangu, the great god, were not immediately recognized by these great powers of the wilderness. The mysterious Dao Yun and Qianghua were only caused by these people mistaking them for the heavenly Dao and surrendering themselves. And at this moment, Lin Tian's heel finally lifted. Although there is a footwork, there is no cultivation method. Lin Tian thought for a moment and decided to put the 5-needle pine into his body. Eating it now is not the best choice. The pure white lotus under his feet has not been refined at this time and cannot be fully used by Lin Tian. He looked around at the fading power of the heavenly way, and then at Nuwa, who had not spoken a word in mid-air and was always ready to shoot herself and others to death. Quickly ask in my mind. How many more times can the human race do the system? Report to the host, the human race has a huge population, and the system can only support the human race to answer questions together 4 times every 10,000 years. That's just one more time. Lin Tian was overjoyed, and after thinking about it, he directly chose a question. Boom! The order of the main road spins, the terrifying charm spreads, and the Qionghua Xianxia blooms wildly on the top of Shuyang Mountain. An invisible wave instantly spreads out. In the minds of all human beings, a multiple-choice question once again appears. The human race has become independent, and Emperor Hua has no longer had any causal relationship with the human race. However, the human race still has constraints, and it is the sage Laozi of the Qing dynasty. Why did Laozi of the Qing dynasty create the human religion? As the leader of the people's sect, he is a powerful member of the human race and can no longer be oppressed by thousands of ethnic groups. 2. To become a saint with the human race, but disregarding the human race, just to occupy the human race's fortune and achieve the position of a saint. After seeing this multiple-choice question again, all the human race's hearts were once again touched. Although many of them have seen the attitude of the sage Nu Hua very clearly, Lin Tian's words just now have made them understand a lot more. However, Tai Ching Laozi, the kind-hearted old man, was originally the golden elixir avenue passed down by him. If it weren't for this, their human race would probably not be able to defeat even the most ordinary monster. How could the saints of Tai Ching also have impure intentions towards their human race? Although the previous supreme question setter had already made them understand many things, at this point, they still fell into doubt about the answer to this question. P.S. Seeking comments, flowers, evaluation tickets, rewards, monthly tickets. Guaranteed 4 changes, 1 comment plus 1 change, 500 flowers plus 1 change, 100 review tickets plus 1 change, 100 book coin rewards plus 1 change, 3 monthly tickets plus 1 change. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.